am I going to deal with my sexual urge when it arises? Today's video is a very important topic. A lot of people don't go too deep inside this topic, like they tiptoe around this topic. Beautiful people, you're welcome to my channel. Fam, you're welcome to my channel. Bonjour, bonsoir, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your time zone, depending on where you're watching me from. You're welcome back again to my channel. This is Jem Francis Austin TV, and I am Jem Francis. Fam, today's topic is must have in mind before getting married to an abroad-based husband. This is what we are talking about today. We are going to talk about, like, I know this topic is what you and I would want to hear. The first thing that we should have in mind, the first question is, can I cope with a husband living away from home for years, months? That is it. As you ask yourself, you that want to get married, you want to marry an abroad-based husband, the first thing you should ask yourself, can I cope with a husband living away from home for years or for months? And when you ask yourself this question, be sincere and be truthful to yourself. If it is yes, you can proceed. If it is no, just be honest and just gingerly encourage yourself. Move on. That one will come. If you live a good life, all hopes on God, definitely that husband will come. If you know that you cannot be able to cope with this very point, my dear, just let the man go. Do not accept. If you know that you cannot be able to cope without a husband living away from home for years or for months, depending on your agreement with your supposed to be husband. Second question is, can I be independent when my husband is away from home? You ask yourself, can I be independent when my husband is away from home? Like, when you get married to an abroad husband, you cannot compare. Okay, let me just say, like, you cannot compare an abroad-based husband with a husband that is living with you. Like, you guys are living together. You and your spouse, you're living together. Even if he's traveling, it's going to be like on business travel trips and all that. He will still come back to the house. Like, he's not going to be on a very long journey that will take him up to a year. Many things that might arise, and that particular independence that I just mentioned now will come in. That independence, that particular independence, that will be coming. Maybe if you're in the house, there's some things that are men's work. Yes, let me just say men's work. There are things that in a home, in a typical African home, there are some things that we just refer those things as the husband's work in the house. You ask yourself, when my husband is away, can I be able to do all those things? Can I be independent? Can I do those things by myself? Those things that will make me to need my husband at this point in time, can I be able to cope? All those things that can make me to want my husband, can I be able to cope? You ask yourself. If you know you can't, then the answer is clear. If you want, you can proceed. If you want to be truthful to yourself, if you know you can be able to cope, you proceed. If you know you cannot, my dear, just let the person go. Yes, another person will come, can fit in to your own kind of husband you want. The way things are happening now, everybody wants to marry an abroad-based husband without considering if they can be able to cope with the marriage. Yes, so these are the things we have to consider before we jump into an abroad marriage. The third thing you should have in mind is, can I cope when my sexual urge arises? Yes, let's be truthful, because a lot of people don't go too deep inside the topic, they tiptoe. So today we are going to break it down. Like, we're not going to leave any single stone unturned. We're going to talk about everything that needs to be talked about. So you ask yourself, how am I going to deal with my sexual urge when it arises? You ask yourself, am I that kind of person that have self-control? Am I that kind of person that can be able to control myself when my sexual urge, when my sexual need arises? You ask yourself that. Am I that kind of person that can stay too long without having sexual intercourse? Yes, you ask yourself, like, if I stay a month without having sex, how am I going to feel? If I stay 1 year without having sex, how am I going to feel? If I stay years without having sex, how am I going to feel? Am I really going to control it? How am I going to deal with my sexual urge? My dear, if you know that you cannot control your sexual urge, no need now. And you know that you and your husband, you don't have any arrangement of you joining him soon. The best thing is for you to look for a man that is based in the country you live and settle down. That is it. It's not a do or die affair. It's not a must that everybody must marry an abroad-based husband. Yes. So that is the third thing you will ask yourself. If my husband is not making any arrangement for me joining him over there, how am I going to be dealing with my sexual urge when the need arises? This very point is going to take us to take 4. It's going to take us to another step, like the fourth thing we'll have in mind, which is fidelity. Yes, because in marriage, for a Christian marriage, let me use that generally, for a Christian marriage, a wife and a husband is meant to be faithful to each other. Yes, we have to, like in married couples, what is being expected of them is faithfulness in marriage. So you ask yourself, if I cannot be able to cope with my sexual urge, what next? Do you see it? And sometimes a lot of married women out there are cheating. A lot of married women are cheating out there. And let me just say that 39% of them are women that their husbands are based in abroad. Yes. Women that are their husbands that are based abroad. You see them like they are fighting in a secret battle with young ladies over a boyfriend, while their own husband is in abroad hustling. Because when they cannot deal with their sexual urge, that's when you see them, they start having we like call this one side chick, side cock. Like, this one is not going to be side chick again, it's going to be side cock. When they cannot deal with their sexual urge, now they will have to look for someone that can be able to satisfy them when the need arises, so that they will feel like, maybe because the money is coming in, yes, and abroad husband, the money is coming, so they don't want anything to come and stress them. They will just satisfy themselves. And this doesn't mean that there are not faithful wives out there. Yes, there are a lot of them that their husbands are based in abroad. There are still faithful ones amongst them. Yes, there are still faithful ones among them. I cannot come here and say that they cheat. No, I am just using this to digest this very particular point I just mentioned now. So when you know that you cannot be able to control your sexual urge when the need arises, please just leave the marriage. Look for someone that is within you. You know yourself, and you know if your self-control is up to that particular climax that can be able to lead you through into having a successful marriage when your husband is in abroad and don't have any arrangement, like you joining him over there where he's living, joining him over there where he's living, like his base. So you ask yourself, do I want to flow into the class of cheaters? Yes, when I eventually marry this man. And if you know that you don't want to cheat, you don't want to be an unfaithful wife, you can be able to control yourself. If you can be able to control yourself, you have that, you trust your sexual order, you have that self-control, you trust your self-control that you can be able to cope. Number 5th point, perseverance. Am I going to be able to persevere to relate him when he will tell? Because most of them will tell their wives, I will come back this year, and eventually maybe things didn't work out that year, they will not come back. Before you know it, like play, maybe it's go to 2 years or more, or even more than that, and they didn't come back. Can I be able to persevere? When things that will warrant me to bring out that perseverance in me, can I be able to persevere? Because in-laws, I have not even gone there. In-laws, brothers-in-laws, mother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, when their wahala will come, if you are those kind of women, if you fall into the class that you married into a family that you don't rapport, you don't relate well with them. Yes, you don't relate well with them. Can you be able to persevere when all those in-laws comes with their wahala? Certainly they will come with their wahala. Yes, because your husband, every woman as her husband is living abroad, must have this kind of relatable vibe with her in-laws. Some are fortunate, some are not fortunate. Yeah. Ask yourself, can I be able to persevere when they start giving me their boss bars? Yes, when my in-laws start giving their wahala, because the wahala will come in. The sixth one is pregnancy. Because most times when you marry an abroad-based husband, maybe if you're pregnant, they might not be opportune to be with you at points. Maybe because of work and all that, you might be lucky. Maybe in your first pregnancy, your husband might be around. Second pregnancy, he might not. Can I cope without my husband when I am pregnant? This is a very important question you ask yourself. Can I cope without a husband when I am pregnant? Dealing with this, with all those things that goes with pregnancy. Can I be able to do them alone, all alone, without my husband being around? You ask yourself this very, very important question. It's very necessary. If you can be able to cope with it, then you give yourself that good I can. Children. When children start coming in, can you be able? Yes, can you be able to cope training these children all alone? It's not all about bringing the money, catering for you and your family. Yes, that's not the main issue. The main issue is that you can't compare when a father is in the house together with the mother and everybody is running the home together, like presence. Like when a husband comes in and out, maybe he will come back this year. Let's say you will not 2 years to come, he will not. Maybe he will come back the third year. You can't compare it to a marriage where the husband and the wife are living together in the house in the same country. So you ask yourself, can I be able to manage my home when my husband is not around? Can I be able to cater for the kids? Can I be able to give them that motherly and fatherly attention? Because you will be playing the role of a father to the kids, to the children generally. You'll be catering for them, doing both what their father is supposed to be doing for them. It's not all about sending money. It's not all about calling on phone. There are some things that might need his physical presence. So you ask yourself, can I be able to do all those things all alone? If you don't have any agreement with your husband of living together, then this video is for you. So far, we have come to the end of this video. If you watch up until now, thank you so much for coming back to watch my videos. I appreciate. Thank you for your love and your support. Please like, share and comment. Give this video a thumbs up.